the bottom. And everything is about race, man. When you meet someone, you say, hi, how are you? Where are you from?
Exactly. Right. Because what's it? Like different like black women that were there at the meeting, they were all talking about social inequality and injustice and shit. And in my head I'm thinking, well, you're never gonna get justice from a people who've lived and maintained their power and dominance through injustice. So how the hell can you beg justice from a people who've always been about injustice?
Yeah, man.
Their social political system came from injustice in other people. Is maintained through those injustices. Right. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's continued through those injustices. Their livelihood depends on those injustices.
That's right.
They can never right what they wronged. Because if they made right what they wronged, then they lose their power. That means they would be given their power. Their power comes through injustice. You understand what I'm saying? 10% of the world's population ruling over the 90%. How is that possible? Through injustices, through lying, through deception, through violence, through violent murdering, through unrelentless violence. That's the only way 10% of the world's minority that come from fucking nowhere, from a bottomless pit, come out fucking nowhere and rule over the 90%. Unless it's through brutality, through complete distortion, mind control. That's the only way. That's the only way. Okay? So I was amazed that this black woman, but you know, it's all about fantasies. The fact that people, in order to escape the pain of reality, what they do is they retreat back into the imagination of their minds and start imagining the world to be where it isn't. That we're all the same, we're all humans, we don't see color, you know. Don't see me as a colored person, they see me as a human. I'm just a man, you know. Even though you're clearly melanin right in front of them, don't see me like that, they see me as a man, I'm just a person. You know, our people want to indulge in fantasies and act like, you know, equality. And I told them there's no such thing as equality. Okay? So like I said, the whole point of why I'm saying this is the fact that people don't want to deal with truth. They want to indulge in make-believe. So that's what you're going to have to go through as a man of the Lord. You're going to have to deal with a whole, especially in these times, in a time of global deception, in a time where people's minds have been controlled, okay? You're going to have to deal with a lot of fake people out here, man. And these fake people want to imprison you. They want to do all these things that the brother just read, man. They want to stripe you. They want to beat you. They want to accuse you of being this and that. Oh, he's abusing me. He's trying to put me down. He's a misogynist. Oh, he's you know, he's this and he's everything.
Sexist.
He's the worst thing since fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Hitler.
Yeah. Simply because you speak the truth. And that's why you don't find a lot of truthful people out here, because people know that honesty doesn't pay, man. In the times we're living in. Where?
Program, man. In stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults, in labours, in watchings. Tumults. Do you know what a tumult is? Tumult is like a riot, man. A tumult is like a riot. So when you're speaking this truth, a motherfucking riot could break out, man. Yep. Here it is. You start saying, oh, man, fuck you white people, man. You go to sleep, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you get a crowd, you know, all of a sudden it's like I said, the truth becomes controversial. People are like, excuse me? Oh, I didn't kill anybody. That was my great forefathers. No pictures, man. No pictures.
That was my great forefathers. You know? But then you say, oh, yeah, but you're benefiting from what your forefathers did. And then the conversation gets all heated. And you might get a couple of devils getting all aggressive. Don't say white. Don't say the word white. They just say, we're gonna keep saying you Edomites, man, you so-called white people, because that's what you are. So you understand what the hell we're talking about. And then you never know. Somebody might come out of the crowd and try to assault you or try to attack the camera. And then police get involved. And then you wind up getting arrested right there in public, man. So tumults. Like when Paul spoke, all hell broke loose, man. When Paul spoke, right out there in the marketplace. Or in the synagogue.
That's right.
All hell broke loose. Just for opening up your mouth and saying the real, man. Now show you people are wicked out here. People are fucking wicked out here, man. People are fucking wicked. You get what I'm saying? Like when I spoke here, and I started coming out at that place here, there's this old nigga that came up to me. He was like, oh, there's a certain way you have to express yourself. You don't have to express yourself like that.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, he says, and I was sitting down when he came up and everyone was standing up around me. And then I kind of stood up because I felt uncomfortable sitting down while everyone was standing up. He was like, why do you have to stand up for? You have to sit down, why are you standing up for? And then I was like, because everyone's standing up, I've got to sit down. And he said, yeah, but I'm right here in front of you, you don't have to talk like that.
Yeah, I know.
You're getting all sensitive or emotional.
You know what it is? Them uncompromising niggas. They're compromising niggas. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look how he's expressing himself. Like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like an old woman. You know? You don't have to express yourself like that. Why aren't you smiling? You know? And the reason why the nigga came over, because he's a lot older than I am, he's jealous, man. Because he didn't have the balls and the conviction to be as courageous as I was in the midst of all them Edomites that were there and just come out and say it. So he felt like he had to come over and show his preeminence over me.
Yeah.
To show that, he tried to show that, you know, I know, he even said that, he says, everything, you know, I know that too, you know.
Yeah.
He said that.
On that paper, I know, you know.
Yeah, he said that.
Proud nigga.
He trying to show that he knows better than me. That he didn't even come over to show respect with the fact that I was brave enough to come out and say it. He just came over and started criticizing me.
Being a nigga,
Being a little nigga.
Started a nigga conversation.
Even the Arab, the Ishmaelite, the two Ishmaelite guys, they came over and commended me. But the nigga, he didn't want to do that because he's just, you know how niggas, man.
Yeah.
When you see another black man, so-called black man, blowing up to be the man, another nigga can't take that. He's got to try and bring you down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I'm majority of our people are fucking gold.
That crab in the bucket mentality.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
A Tupac and Biggie spirit, man.
You know?
Good niggas.
You know, because the nigga always got to hate. And he's looking at him like, what does he have that I don't have? You know what I'm saying? Because he's thinking about pussy. Now, you see another black man blown up to be the man, he knows that guy, that brother in the spotlight, he's going to get all the women. So his thing is, I can't let that happen. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Our people are got to go. That's what I'm saying. That's why we will never come out of our kingdom by ourselves. Because another nigga will always try to bring another black man down. We're always going to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Esau don't have to do nothing. He's going to sit back and watch other niggas destroy themselves.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Esau don't have to do shit. He just let Jake do a job on himself. You know what I'm trying to say? And the nigga's so short, small-minded, he doesn't see that he's acting on behalf of white supremacy when he does that.
That's right.
He's helping the white man bring other Jakes down by doing it. But he's so caught up in his little selfish jealousy that he doesn't see that that's what he's doing.
Yeah, but they had that documentary about being blacker, about a guy in Brixton. And when they were doing a documentary, you saw how proud our people were. One guy said, listen, the youth of today, they don't like us, they don't smile or say hello, they need to adopt and know their culture and all this stuff. You old niggas are the one that taught these young niggas, man. Yeah, so where's your responsibility?
Exactly, they're trying to show up their responsibility. Okay? But you have to understand that you made a poor example. That's it. You set a poor example. When you look at the older generation of Israelites here, they're pretty much living their own selfish lifestyle for themselves, for their own benefit. They don't care about the children. Burning weed, becoming alcohol addicted. The black woman running her mouth to the black man right in front of the children, so she's not thinking about how that's affecting the children. That the children are seeing that, are witnessing that, and are learning from that. And are going to carry what they've learned into their future relationships. They don't care about that. But then they're demanding respect. But anyway, that's another issue. Let's go back.
Verse 6, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, by love and fine, by the word of truth, by the power of God, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report, by good report.
You have to stop because I'm lacking going.
Okay, cool. Alright, 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 5. In stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults, in labors, in watchings, in fastings.
In labors, man. Brothers are laboring, working all the time, man.
Yep.
Some brothers laboring all the time. It's almost like sometimes you gotta force yourself to make a video, I ain't gonna lie. I'm working like 10.5 hours a day. Crazy. Alright, but laborings. What else, go ahead?
In watchings, in fastings, by pureness.
In watchings. Watchings. So brothers are watching for the signs, man. On the news. Alright? Brothers are watching, man. Spiritually watching. We're watching the levels out here, watching the spirit out here. Go ahead, man.
By pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, and by love and fine, by the word of truth, by the power of God, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left.
So pretty much you gotta keep in mind the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that you don't offend the spirit by doing crimes against other brothers, watching how you talk to other brothers, watching how you treat other brothers. Okay? How else? And not just brothers in the truth. The scripture says, what's it? It says, be at peace with all men. You're supposed to say that. So even how you treat, when you're teaching this gospel, how you deal with other men. Because you never know, the guy who you're talking to might be a member of the elect too.
That's right.
You understand? Regardless of his outward appearance. Alright? So you have to be aware of the spirit. The scripture says, in the day of sinning, a man will be aware of offense, man. Alright? So when temptation comes your way, don't fall prey to that temptation, man. Like a fine, sexy woman. Big titties. Yeah, man. She's all talking to you like she's single. You'd swear up and down she's single the way she's carrying on. And then you ask, you say, oh man, he says, yeah, but he's not really around much. So that's that temptation, that's the day of sinning. That's that demon presenting itself to you. Now you could follow through of that, but then you would be sinning against the Most High. That would be called adultery. Alright? But the scriptures say a man will beware of offense. Because when you sleep with that woman, not only you're offending that woman's man, but you're offending really the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because the scripture says, thou shalt not covet another man's wife.
That's right.
Okay? So pretty much all it is a test of your character. Wait.
Verse 8, by honor and dishonor.
By honor and dishonor. Because out here we might get commended. We might get certain likes on the comment board. Thumbs up and down. You might have certain fake niggas pass by and say, keep up the good work, man, keep up the good work. And you walk past. You know, so we get praise, you know, but at the same time we get dishonored, man. We get dishonored. Like that same nigga that came, that nigga that came up. Why you don't have to express yourself in a certain way to speak to people. You don't have to be so, you know, your arms out and everything.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at this nigga thinking, why are you trying to suppress the power?
Big picture of spirit.
Exactly. Just because he couldn't do it. He couldn't come out there and do what I did, so he's gonna try and put me down. But anyway, the scripture says by honor and what dishonor. So we're gonna get like a balance of both, but more time dishonor, because we're living in a time of global wickedness.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead, man.
By evil report and good report.
Hearing that evil report and good report. Go ahead.
As deceivers and yet true.
As deceivers and yet true. So it's almost like we're righteous deceivers. Because people have already filled up with old wine. They've already filled up with old wine. So we're trying to subvert them with guile and catch them with this truth and convert them. So but the word convert means with truth. So we're trying to subtly, almost like persuade them into salvation. No? We're trying to make them empty their glass wine, their wine glass of their old wine, and trying to pour in the new wine. Okay? So they may be saved. Clean wine. Right? Clean wine. You know? Alright? So it says we're deceivers, but yet we're true. So that's what it said, we're righteous deceivers. Alright? Because the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai worketh in us, Lord willing.
As unknown and yet well known.
As unknown, but yet well known. Unknown, but yet well known. See, we're not all over the news. We're not all over the news and the television. People are not trying to interview us on the television. You don't see us in advertisements. They're making movies about us. They're not making no movies. We're not in the cinema. You know what I'm saying? The Hebrew Israelites. You see brothers with beards and swords and black men. So we're unknown, but yet we're well known. Because if you ask anybody out here, I'm pretty sure they'll tell you they run across one of our videos.
Yeah.
So we're unknown, but yet we're well known.
You need to go around the corner and stop fake.
Go ahead, man.
We had that once with a guy, Jake. He said, "Have you got a question?" He goes, "No, I'm just listening. I watch you guys all the time."
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, just came out of it.
You know what I'm saying? Even devils know about us, man. These average peon devils know about us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People that aren't even religious, that don't even believe in the Bible know about us. Muslims know about us. Muslims know about us. Like when we were at the place and I said we're the Hebrew Israelites, they were like, oh, okay. So that's when they understood why we were so bold in this coming out and this mentioning white and black issues. We just came out with it and they were all like shocked. But then when we broke it down to them, we said we're the Hebrew Israelites, they were like, oh, okay. That's what they understood because they know about us. Get me, go ahead.
And sorrowful, yet always rejoicing.
Sorrowful, but you're always rejoicing. Because we're right now, you're sorrowful. You're seeing the degradable state of our nation. And it hurts, man. It hurts. And it vexes you. The scriptures say oppression maketh a wise man mad. So it does make you mad to see yourself and your nation in oppression by a nation of people that hate you. And you can't do nothing about it. You don't have any power to do anything about it. That these Edomites can literally run over and do what they like to us, and the system, the government, and the law system will be in their favor still. And we'll still justify them. Because it's for them. It's not for us. So you're always gonna find yourself in a situation where you lose. Because this system doesn't work for our benefit. It works for the benefit of Esau. These devils out here, man. Like my little brother, for example, right? My little brother, he's in the world, right? And it just so happened that he was in Croydon and he barged like he walked into this woman, she happened to be pregnant, but he didn't know. The husband that was with her jumped him, man. Jumped my brother, assaulted him, and then like all other white people came around and started jumping my brother as well. Now when the police got a hold, they arrested my brother, and now they're gonna bring him to court. And they're gonna press charges on him. But yet my mom basically like, well, it was basically they ganged up on my brother. And my brother, he didn't have the intention of barging the woman, but yet all them other Edomites, they just jumped they assaulted him, they punched him and everything. So they're making it look like my brother, he's the one in the wrong. When actually the other people, they assaulted him. They intentionally assaulted him. My brother didn't intentionally assault anything. But yet they're trying to make it look like my brother, he's in the wrong. So that shows you that this system works for the benefit of them. And the police fully know that them white people, they were in the wrong. But because they're white too, and they're all white people, they're all gonna try and defend one another. So they're gonna try and make it when my brother goes down. So it shows you that no matter how right you are, justified you are, you're always, as the Israelite man, gonna wind up be the demonized one. And Esau's gonna come out on top because this system works for him. You get what I'm saying? So these things we have to deal with them. This oppression makes us angry. Okay? It makes us angry that we have to deal with all this, man. So what was you reading?
Verse 10. As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorrowful and you're always rejoicing. So even when we're going through this hell and we have to experience these things on a day-to-day basis, you know, racial or like, because Esau, he's subtle. He does things indirectly, passively. His racism. He won't call you a nigger, but he'll disrespect you with a smile on his face. You know this devil's a racist just by being in his presence. You get what I'm saying? But you can just tell by his mannerism that he's acting. He's not actually being genuine. You get what I'm saying? And you have to deal with these things. So it's almost like we're sorrowful, but yet we're rejoicing. Why are we rejoicing? Because the scriptures say what? That we're gonna rule over all them that oppressed us, man. So oppression makes us mad, but the scripture says we're gonna rule over them in the end. So that's why we're rejoicing. Because through the spirit we have hope and what the scriptures say. You get what I'm saying? So that's how it is. That's how it is, man. Hope is, we have hope, man. But the majority of our nation, they're all bugged out, sipping on this Babylon juice, man. They're not sober-minded. They're not sober-minded, man. Hey, go ahead, man.
As poor, yet making many rich.
So we're poor, but yet making many rich. That's why I said, in Revelations 2 and 9, it says, I know that works in tribulation, but thou art rich, right? So we're poor because we don't have no shit. Because if we were rich, we have all kind of women. We have all kind of women around us. We probably wouldn't even be out here in the highways and byways because we get too much pussy. Too much vagina be in front of us, man. But the Most High making us poor, all right, so we can focus on His word, man. Because that's the only riches that we have right now. That's the only riches that we have. Okay, if I give me that in Romans 11, where it says what's that scripture?
That we have enough to go day by day with, but not enough.
In fact, get Proverbs 30. You know, it says give me not riches that blaspheme thy name. You know that one.
Verse 30.
Get Romans.
Otherwise, if you have a certain amount of money in your account, you're thinking about spending the money.
Exactly.
Every week you have to give an excuse.
Right. Because say if you put your debit card into the ATM, then you see your account balance is like 10,000. You're seeing the zeros basically. Look at that shit, man. Yeah, new house. Your mind is gonna go off. You thinking, yeah, okay. I'm gonna give this too much to my mom. Then I'm gonna buy this. Then I'm gonna buy these new crepes with the little gold chain that I like. Yeah. Then you're gonna think about stunting with that shit. You're gonna be thinking about, yeah, I'm gonna walk on the streets. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm gonna buy a hat, buy a nice T-shirt, jacket, a Selfridges. You know what I'm trying to say? You're gonna think about stunting with that money. But at the same time, you're gonna have a bit of a conscience. You're gonna be like, yeah, I'll spend the money, but then I'm also gonna go to camp and shit, obviously. You know, for a while, but then you're gonna get gassed up with them riches, man. Especially if you get a woman. Especially if you're getting that woman, man. Alright? Because guys have dropped out of the truth because of a woman, man. Read that. No, Romans 11.
As Romans 11 and 3, and it says, all the depth of riches, both of wisdom and knowledge of the Most High, how unsearchable are His judgments and His ways past finding out.
Right, the scriptures say all the depths of the riches of knowledge, right? Roughly paraphrasing, right? You just heard that. Because knowledge is very deep. It's deep, man. Because when you're in the world, all you know is pleasure. It's living according to the flesh, according to your animal instincts. If it feels good, you just act based on what feels good. And so you're shallow-minded. But when you read these verses of the Bible, you meditate on these verses, and you connect the dots, man, and it makes you think. It makes you think, man, and you meditate, and your mind changes, man. Your countenance changes. You don't smile as much. Why? Because you're constantly meditating. You're meditating and reading all the time. You're always in the Bible. You're reading the book of Proverbs. You're reading the book of Ecclesiastes. You're watching videos. You're learning from brothers. And all of a sudden, you get like an enthusiasm for wisdom, and you become deep in your understanding, man. Your understanding develops. Okay? Why? Because the Spirit of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, is working with you. You know, that's why the Scripture says, behold, I knock. If you open the door, I will come and sup with you. Because Yahweh Shai is feeding you. He's feeding you, he's nourishing you. And you're growing. You know, when your body receives food, you're receiving them vitamins, and it's nourishing you. It's making you strong. It's building you. For example, like when you go to the gym, and you might lift some dumbbells and bench press and all that, right? And your muscles rip. If you don't eat food, eat carbohydrates and protein, that muscle is not gonna grow. So you need to nourish the muscles, man, so it grows back bigger and stronger. So you look better, you look more enhanced almost. Your body's enhanced. So on a spiritual level, we were skinny. We were little mager, little worldly niggas, man, in the world. Then when we came into the truth, basically we came into the spiritual gym. We started working out spiritually, enhancing, and the Most High, what did he do? Because we accepted Yahweh Shai and Yahweh, the Most High, he started feeding us with this wisdom and understanding, this milk, okay, this wine, this meat, bread. Bread is what? Carbohydrates, right? And milk is what? A protein. If you check a lot of these supplements, these muscle supplements, it contains like whey powder or like basically milk, okay, or protein, dairy protein, which obviously helps the protein, the muscle building. So that's what we're getting, man. And that's why we're enhancing, and that's why we can be so bold out here in the highways and byways, man. Why? Because the Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai has been building us up. Oh, Hold on.
Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8. Remove far from me vanity and lies.
Remove far from me vanity and lies. Go ahead.
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
Give me neither poverty nor riches. Go ahead.
Feed me with food convenient for me.
Feed me with food that is convenient for me. Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8. Remove far from me vanity and lies.
Remove far from me vanity and lies, man. Basically meaning flee the shadow of this world, man. Because the shadow of this world, the image of this beast, is all about vanity and lies, man. Alright? It's all about delusions and illusions, man. False dreams, a false sense of reality. The media, the television, all depicting a false sense of reality, man. Things that will ultimately profit you nothing. Because remember how I read to you Jeremiah 16? Take not neither a wife, or have neither sons or daughters in this place, for they shall die of grievous deaths. So what will you getting a university degree and becoming the MP of the House of Parliament or any of these prestigious positions in society, what will any of that do for you? When all those grievous times come, what would it do for you? What would it do for you? Okay, that's why scriptures say, what do the spirit of this Bible is telling you, take away from me vanity and lies. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Lest I be full and deny thee, and say, something. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8. Remove from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches.
Neither poverty nor riches, man.
Feed me with food convenient for me.
So you have poverty on one extreme end, you have riches on one extreme end. Feed me with food that's convenient for me. Okay, so it's right now, the life that each brother is living is we're eating food that's convenient for us, man. We don't have excessive amounts of money where we can eat at all times. Certain brothers got food that can so some of the brothers are earning money that can just about last us until the end of the week. So the start of the week starts at Monday, right? Sunday is the last day, right? So your money that you might have got might last you until like Friday, Thursday, Friday. The end of Thursday to Friday. So pretty much you got to ration out what's left for the weekend, man, until your next paycheck. So the Most High has put us each brother in a situation where we got food that's convenient for us. We're living a lifestyle that's neither abundance of riches, but we're not at the same time, we're not just bums on the road, poverty stricken. We're like in the middle, we're managing. We're managing. That's when you answer, brother, how you doing, man? He says, I'm good, man. I can't complain. That's pretty much how a brother responds. I'm alright, man. Alright meaning I'm okay, meaning I'm not bad, but at the same time I'm not super rejoicing, kingdom of heaven spirit. I'm okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or least,
right, so it said, least you be full and you deny the Lord. Because you got certain niggas, they get a paycheck and then they start living it up, man. They might get a couple of grand in the bank account and they start thinking that they can go on holiday now and start enjoying life, man. And they completely forget about the house of limitation, the house of mourning. Sorry, guys. They completely forget about the house of mourning, and then they enter into the house of feasting, man. Simply because they got a couple of zeros in the bank account. And then you got niggas in the entertainment world, man. You really think they're trying to come out here in the highways and byways? They've already received their consolation. That's why it is a marvelous thing, because Scripture says better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, man. Okay? Because in the beginning, you want to be poor. Idealistically, you want to be poor. Right now, you want to be mediocre average. So when the end comes, you can receive all those luxuries that you dreamed of. Like Lazarus. Lazarus, in the beginning, he was poor. But what happened to him in the end? He was in Abraham's arms, man. Because the promise was made to Abraham. So he was living the promises that was promised to Abraham and his descendants. You know, the land flowing with milk and honey, he was in the kingdom of heaven. And where was the rich man? The rich man who received the riches in the beginning, he wound up in hell, man. In the end. Okay, so that's why it's a marvelous thing that we're going through what we're going through right now. Because we know we got something good waiting for us in the other side. Hold on, let me
Lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal, and take the name of my God in vain.
Exactly, because if you're poor, your whole mentality. I know my mom used to do that. My mom used to curse God out. My mom used to curse the Most High out because of the things that she went through as a child. She used to have hatred for the Most High because her mentality is, why did God make